Hello, welcome to Let's Get Down to Business with the Prince Rupert and District Chamber of Commerce. We are here to give a voice to our local business owners, entrepreneurs, and community leaders to strengthen and support our local business community and to share the wisdom and experience of longtime business leaders and the fresh ideas and experiences of new entrepreneurs. So let's get down to business.
Hi, my name is Daphne Thompson, and I'm the president of the Prince Rupert and District Chamber of Commerce. Today, I have the absolute privilege to get down to business with Sweat Rebel Fitness, our very own Hannah and Crystal. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Anna, let's start with you. Please tell us a little about you. What's your background? How did you get to Prince Rupert? How did Sweat Rebel start?
I came here to Prince Rupert when I was younger, and then I left when I was a teenager and came back as an adult. And so having a little bit of that experience, kind of going away and coming back, I really realized that Prince Rupert is my home. I absolutely am drawn to it. So it's nice to get out and experience things outside of Prince Rupert, but I absolutely feel 100% me being in Prince Rupert in this community here. I love the North. So that being said, then where we got to Sweat Rebel from now, I've been in Rupert here for over 15 years since I moved back for the second time. And I've always been a bit of an athlete. I think just kind of a baseline athlete, dabbling in and, here and there with different sports, done a few competitions, but never really put it as a priority in my life. I was always really working hard to get through school and to go to university and try to figure out what my career path was. So when it came down to finding Sweat Rebel, it was just such an interesting way that it all kind of unraveled, because I had put so much focus into my career that I really forgot about my passion. It was just more like, get a good job, make sure there's job security that you can provide and it's sustainable. And then I ended up completely dumping university, and I didn't finish. I regret that. But at the same time, I don't, because I realized that I would have gone maybe into a career path that I wouldn't have had as much passion. So I really understand when people say the spark now, when you need to find that spark and that passion, you're like, oh, I get that. I get that now. So, focusing on my career and school, and then coming into Prince Rupert, I'll just cut right to the chase of just moving on through adulthood. The biggest part of my life that I really needed in my health and my fitness was when I had my daughters. So my first pregnancy was really hard. I put on a lot of weight. I didn't bounce back the way that I thought I would. And then there was the mental health aspect of that, of changing and becoming a mother, having a blended family, the complexities of that, and also being a young parent. So there was just so much going on that I really would say that my life was full of a lot of anxiety and chaos and some depression. And I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. And it just felt like there was a lot of vibrating. So second daughter happens, and things got even worse. I experienced postpartum for the first time. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna cry. It's really,
she's gonna make me cry.
Yeah, it's a really emotional process for me, because you hear about it a lot, about postpartum, and that was so detrimental for me. I didn't think I was going to come out of it, and I felt like I had nobody, but I did have the community. But when you're in it, you feel so alone because you don't recognize yourself anymore. So at that point, I knew something needed to change. Like, I needed help, and I was seeking help, and I wasn't getting it. And it was just one barrier or stumbling block after another, and I'm just begging for help. And I couldn't get it. And then a lot of places didn't feel safe for me. I felt like there was judgment. I sought out different places to try to move my body or to gain some mental health education. And it was just, it would get me a little bit, and then a big hurdle, and I would fall right back. And so I came across K2 Fitness, the people that are actually the previous owners of our gym, and they made me feel so safe and empowered me and encouraged me with baby steps, with no pressure, to just find my journey. And it was slow, and, you know, there's lots of ups and downs, roller coaster, but it was constantly getting better. It was constantly still getting better. And I wasn't going backwards. I wasn't trying to find quick fixes to help me. I really realized that I needed to just make an entire lifestyle change, and I had a safe space now. So that safe space encouraged me to start using fitness as a way to release the stress and really reconnect to my body and feel my body again, and just to bring me back to me. And so as that happened, the instructor approached me and really thought it was a good idea that I should become an instructor. And I didn't have any confidence at the time. I thought, no way. I pushed her off for years. I was not ready for that, but it was always in the back of my mind because I knew that I was that person that had that drive, and I wanted to find that that inner light. Yeah, I wanted to find me again. And I know me, I'm just like out there, extroverted. I want to be around everybody. I want to learn. I want to educate. I want to do everything. I love dabbling in a little bit of everything. I'm such a curious person. So I knew it was in me, but I was really, really low confidence and going through so much internally. And that I finally took the step to become an instructor, and it completely changed my life, getting on an indoor cycling bike and being able to take everything out and to breathe and to feel my breath in my body, everything. So yeah, that was just the stepping stone to where fitness really became a big part of my life, and to find that space that allowed me to do that, to take that journey that didn't hinder the healing process for myself. So when COVID had happened, that's when the studio had decided to shut down. And it wasn't because the business wasn't there. It was just that I think the owners took a time to reflect and realize that they wanted to move on to other things. They had been doing it for so long. And I just thought that this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. This is the sign. Yeah, this is the sign. This is, I should be doing this. And I felt it. I was still struggling with confidence, but I was like, I just feel so connected to this right now that I must pursue this. This is what this passion or spark I think I'm feeling. And I feel drawn to it. And the more that I invested my energy into it, I just realized, like, this doesn't feel like work. This feels like just an absolute connection to myself. And I feel so authentically true to myself right now. So I reached out to Crystal for financial advice about the possibility of purchasing a studio and during COVID, and like, what are your thoughts from her background? And she'll tell you more about her. And then we hit it off. And it was just like,
we knew each other in passing.
Yeah.
But now we know each other
all
a
of a
lot
sudden
better.
we just got really,
We got really close.
really deep. And then we were just like, okay, we were soul sisters here, just pairing up, and we just really rode that vibe of sharing each other's passion and encouraging others. And that's where things started to take off.
Yeah, that's really our main goal, is helping other people find their passion. That's kind of what brought me here as well. I moved to Prince Rupert. I would say it's been 17 years now since I moved to Prince Rupert. It's the common story that everybody tells you. I came here to visit and I haven't left yet. So the visit's going really well. I have a permanent house and job and a partner that I've actually had for 16 and a half years. So really that's kind of what kept me here. But I came here to visit my dad, who used to run the performing arts studio. And I just never left. And I've never really been, Hannah used to be, talks about being an athlete her whole life, and maybe this like bar level. Like, I was more of like the couch potato when I was younger. I am like the opposite. I played badminton in school in like grade 8, and that's about it. I hated phys ed. I did a complete 180 when I got into my 20s. I started taking random fitness classes in town here. I started trying different things. I eventually became a long distance runner. And so I ran marathons, half marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks. I was the president of Rupert Runners, the running club here in town, for 5-6 years. For at least 5 of those years, I ran the Learn to Run program with other coaches, but I would lead the kind of.
I've done that program.
Yeah, it's a good one, hey?
It is.
So it was really nice to share my passion of running with others.
Mm.
And it was a good way to get out there and meet more people and be in the community. And so starting there, and then in the running club, we actually had an Olympic coach come up and do a running clinic with us, which was really cool. And I'm like, you know what my real lifelong goal is? It's to become an adult cheerleader. And
Oh.
this is really coming into play now for sure. But in 2018 is when I started feeling a little bit of, started getting some issues with my body, with my hips. I was set to run the New York Marathon in November of 2018. So I had started training in more diversifying my training. I started weight training, I started yoga, and then it actually came to a point where I couldn't run anymore. I was experiencing a lot of trouble in my hip, and I still ran that marathon because I'm stubborn. And you only get into the New York Marathon once. Well, other people might get in more than once, but it's one of those things where you win the lottery and you're like, yes. So I went and did that. I have not run since. That was literally my last run. I found out I have hip dysplasia and they said, no more running. And I said, I guess so. So after that, it was kind of a struggle because my partner was suffering with some health issues. And here's where I get all emotional. And so I also went through a period of very bad depression and anxiety. Basically all of 2018 leading up to that marathon was a real struggle to even leave the house. I always felt like people were judging me because, you know, when you're depressed, people don't expect you to smile. And I am a very smiley person. See, even when I'm crying, I start to smile. But yeah, so going forward from that, I really was struggling with finding what my passion was. I didn't know what it was. I was working, I got a job. Like, I'm a full-time accountant, by the way. In my day job, I did go to school for accounting. I am a full-time accountant during the day, not by night because that's too much tax. But even though I love my job, it wasn't really my passion. It wasn't that high that I felt, that glow that I felt from running, that enthusiasm, that excitement, the wanting to learn more about it. Not that I don't learn about my regular job again. But, and then when we basically, I was struggling, I didn't know what to do. So I just kept going. I got into yoga a lot more, and that was nice. And I still tried lifting, but I've gone through kind of a series of injuries. In 2020, I was hit by a tree.
What?
Yeah, I was knocked out and hit by a tree in 2020.
So just how did that happen?
It happened when I stopped to take pictures. One of my passions is taking pictures. I stopped to take some pictures in Telqua, and it was a bit windy out that day, but one second I was standing, the next second I was surrounded by people, and
like the tree literally fell on you.
A limb from the tree.
Wow.
The person that lived close by said he heard it crack and he saw it fall from 40 feet and hit me. And so that was kind of a setback as well. I'm actually still going through physio 2 years later and massage for my shoulder. So because it kind of, even though it doesn't necessarily look like I got hit by a tree, I'm hoping, it still has all of those effects of shifting your body in different ways, right? So that was something to come back from as well. So I that was in September of 2020. So it's been 2 years. And then I started walking again. That was all I could do. All I could do starting in November, like after I felt like I was capable of doing it and could go back to a relatively normal kind of day-to-day thing, I started walking again. And it was January 1st of 2021 that we were on the phone with another friend of ours to talk. They had called me about doing some cash flow and looking at a spreadsheet, which is totally my jam. I really love those numbers, I do. And we were on the phone for over 2 hours. And by the end of the conversation, it's like, I'm a part of this business now, 2K. And so we spent a lot of the beginning of 2020, like, because most people know we didn't, or you don't know, but if you do know, we opened our doors for spin in September 2020 after a long weekend. But we spent like 8 months prior to that building what we had, like doing the renovations, like figuring out what we wanted to do with the business, what kind of things we'd be able to offer. And really was the spinning was the big part.
Yeah.
And the spinning has been great because even for me with my multiple injuries and things, I'm still able to get that cardio burn, which is quite nice because I can't run anymore. I can walk at a fast pace, but I can't do that running really necessarily. But the spinning is great, and it has been a great source of cardio and real enjoyment, especially the way we do it, I think.
So what I'm hearing is that the fitness was on both of you basically a form of healing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It started that way. And
I think it still is.
Yeah. I mean, I think even though we participated in different physical activities, you know, there's a point, I think, where you're in tune with your body, where you're doing it and you're maybe enjoying endorphins. You're enjoying it for the sport or the movement. But when we both were able to share and experience and go through the piece, like that mental health piece, where we experienced a hurdle and it's affecting you emotionally and absolutely hindering the person that you are, and you're starting to see that change, all of a sudden it becomes a deeper level of fitness. It's not fitness just to have muscle or show muscle for us.
It's the feeling.
It's the fitness to integrate your body and yourself together as whole, and to also have passion and have fun doing it. And so it just, for us, that's where it really stemmed from. It really stems from the marrying of feeling your body, but also being able to tap into more than just your body.
So once we started, talking, I ended up taking all of the courses. Hannah was already just getting certified as a personal trainer. She already had group fitness and everything. I ended up taking all of my courses last year. I'm also a group fitness certified instructor, and I'm going to be starting my personal training certification soon as well under my mentor, which is quite nice. So
what I absolutely love about the story that you are telling is both that this was more from Hannah's side, but this was an intentional decision to basically follow what created a spark, and you found a partner that has got a different set of skill set than you to aid this. And both of you share the passion of where fitness and health created healing on both of you emotionally.
Absolutely.
And that is something powerful. And I wish more entrepreneurs can hear this and understand that you can't do everything alone. You can.
No, absolutely not.
But what I'm trying to get at is you might not do it as well. When you are in a partnership and when you have someone that has got a different set of skill set than you, two brains are always better than one.
Absolutely.
It just makes it so much better. If you look at the biggest success stories out there, it's always almost like the creator and the analytic. That
creator, analytic.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because usually the creator doesn't have the analytical skills, and the analytical guy doesn't have the
I suffer at being creative sometimes.
Absolutely. and being able, I mean, I think what makes this partnership so successful as well is not just sharing the same passion as well, because that's what we always fall back on, is that we don't always see eye to eye, but we're very respectful of each other and what we've gone through. We don't dismiss anything of our feelings or what we're going through. So we always can agree to disagree. We can take some time for each other, but we always come back, and it always comes back to kindness and love. And why are we doing this?
And support. Like, and when I'm having a bad day, she immediately offers to take my classes. Even though I usually keep them because I know it'll make me feel better. For all those out there who are feeling crappy, fitness really helped me.
Absolutely.
And it can make the worst day better.
It definitely does. It's that natural happy pills, right?
Absolutely.
But tell us more about what are the offering that what can we do at Fitness Rebel?
Okay, so what do we have? So we have all the spin classes. So we have, over the course of the last year and a half, we've actually purchased 10 brand new bikes. And brought them in, integrating them. So we still have some of the old bikes, but we mostly replaced a lot of them. So we have our spin classes that are available. We have at least one a day, I believe, because we usually have 6 a.m. classes and some evening.
And then we
some on the
offer
weekends.
a variety of different indoor cycling. So you can have a variety of where you're going to do
Intervals.
an interval class. You
Or-
could be conditioning on just training strength for power climbing.
There's the ones where it's partial spinning, partial toning. So you get off the bike, and for the second part of it, you would do some different form of toning with like dumbbells and stuff. And then we have
glow spin as well. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like the party on the bike on the Friday night.
It's so fun.
I love
The
that
healthier
one.
version.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Of going out to the club. We have some other classes that we're going to be working on that are some really interesting surprises coming up that we'll be offering. So
we also have our second room that has the other classes though as well that we've been, so we didn't have that at first. I think, did we start that in Jan?
Yeah, we expanded
We
shortly.
expanded in the summer before we opened.
Yeah. We found that we did some research and we talked to individuals that were coming in for indoor cycling and some members that were really eager to see the studio open that had been previous members. And so we reached out to them and we received some feedback. We reached out to community members individually just to talk about what they wanted and found that there was this need for this second space. So we opened that up and slowly started building this
More class
strength training area and
lots of TRX. We use the TRX quite frequently.
Yeah, the suspension training we do for a lot of mobility and HIIT classes. We have power rigs, we have cable machines, we have all kinds of
lifting.
Yeah, all kinds of equipment, and we're still adding more so that we can offer a variety of types of training. But really, it's not even just for us to offer that training, but to encourage other individuals that are interested in fitness or ever becoming an instructor, for them to have a space to explore that and to maybe find, if they don't stay with our studio, but it gives them a space and a chance to explore fitness, and as an educator to have individuals here at Sweat Rebel to mentor them and to offer them that freedom to find where they might excel or find passion in fitness. And so we have
we have the youth classes that we recently started as well. We have senior classes.
Yeah, that's right.
So
and we have about 7 different instructors, anywhere from yoga to
we just recently
training.
added yoga, so that was a nice one. Another Crystal, it was a good sign.
Oh, she's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, we have cross conditioning. We have HIIT classes. We have instructors doing learning to lift.
Maybe just break down what does HIIT mean. You're not hitting each other in the class.
No. HIIT classes
HIIT.
is that high interval intensity training. Right? So you're looking at quick movements, usually little to no weight.
The cardio aspect that gets your heart rate up, and then followed by maybe some weights to lighter weights.
Yeah. So you're keeping that that cardio and that stamina is really being challenged in a HIIT class.
Do you also
and
add
agility.
a nutrition aspect to that?
Nutrition, we are working on just as trainers. There is some nutrition that we can discuss.
Basic guidelines, basically.
Yeah, as an actual trainer, and I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, it is out of your scope to actually prescribe.
We're actually supposed to recommend people to a dietitian.
That's right. You should be, because we don't know enough about your history, and we don't see your blood work. We don't have any of that information of that specialty to really prescribe something that is going to tell you this is what's going to work. So we can give you the basic knowledge and information about, carbs, proteins, fats, and we have
the breakdowns of those things.
That's right. Yeah. So there's a certain amount that we'll discuss with individuals. I personally am a big fan of intuitive eating. So I really am working on still, but have really improved my relationship with food. So that's where I believe in the nutrition piece that I come from when people talk to me, is about intuitive eating and building a relationship with your food so that it doesn't become a negative thing. And we're learning coping mechanisms and things like that, so that we're a little bit more in tune into what we're putting into our body. And, I love cookies, and I will say yes to cookies.
I love
absolutely. So I'm very much geared away from diet culture, the pendulum swinging of restrict, binge, things. I've done it myself. It never worked. So for me, I really focus on that. And if anybody wants very specifics, absolutely, we'll recommend them to dietitians. We are also in talks right now with some individuals that are from Vancouver that we're hoping to get up to Prince Rupert. If they can't come up to Prince Rupert, then we're hoping we can get them virtually and to set up some sort of program hopefully in the new year,
Mhm.
where our members have the opportunity to ask questions and to learn a little bit more about ingredients.
Like maybe a workshop of some kind,
Yeah,
right?
learning how to read the boxes at the grocery store, talking about a little bit more in depth about nutrition, and to be able to ask those questions with a nutritionist and a dietitian as well. So we don't focus too much on that,
Mhm.
just as that's not our area of specialty.
All right. So tell us a little bit, what would the future of Sweat Rebel look like?
Oh, the future. Wow. It's like everything. it's everywhere. We want to do everything. We have a problem with getting really big and having too many
You get really
ideas.
excited about
Yeah.
things.
I would really love to see, and we are working on it, is being able to offer that online platform. So that is something that we're working through.
We have internet now here in the building,
Yeah.
which was the biggest hurdle to overcome. It only works really well in certain parts of the building, though.
But
So
we'll work through that.
we're getting through that.
Yeah, and finessing our skills. I mean, we're a very new company, and we opened up during COVID. There was a lot of, I think, emotion as well that had gone through COVID. So we really want to give ourselves time. If we're going to launch online, we really want to do it well, and we want to have a really well thought out plan. So that is something we need to take from the business end and sit down and talk about what that looks like, but then also take it as an instructor, what that looks like for instructing wise. So we are working on it. We're in the talks. I'd love to see us get online.
And really, we like to hear feedback, and we commonly ask for feedback from our members to see what kind of classes they want to see. Like, is there different time frames? Like,
yeah, I think we're very fluid. We'll have lots of different programs I think we'll offer in the future. But I think what I would really like to see too is the either having individuals that eventually come to Prince Rupert as Prince Rupert is developing and growing, or if it's something that we start ourselves, but having individuals that are capable of being an educator, so that if people want to enter the fitness realm, they don't have to go so far away, or they don't have to just sit online and they don't get that personal
feeling, right? Like, I did all of my courses online, which was great. Like, I made a good connection with the people, but I know it would have been a little bit different if I was actually there in person, right?
And I mean, when we're talking about the body, right, it is nice to be
able to correct that form in person,
be there
kind of like
for adjustments. And yeah, absolutely. So being able to have somebody that's an educator that can offer that kind of certification here, so that we can gain more certified instructors that have that knowledge,
have that passion, and they want to join us.
That's right. Yeah. And so I would love to see that come here, if that's something that either our company initiates, or if it is here and Sweat Rebel is a part of it. I'd love to see the education aspect grow, so that we have more resources for individuals that are seeking out how to do things. And so that would be amazing. Something that I'm working on as well, we talked about earlier, the healing aspect of it. I am on a wait list to eventually get into a schooling program that is designed to focus on trauma. So it's trauma training. How can we bring in physical training and trauma healing together, and as a trainer not hinder their healing process, and how to more encourage it. But we're looking at different types of trauma that we have to get into. There could be PTSD, postpartum, there could be forms of abuse. So there's a lot of different trauma that I have to become educated in and practice in order to facilitate and offer a program that can really help individuals that have experienced trauma and want to take that healing journey. How can we help? How can we be there for them?
That sounds fascinating, and it's definitely not a well-known fact. To that,
no.
I would believe that's a very unique offering. Congratulations on that. That would be amazing.
Yeah. So
where can we get hold of you?
Yeah, so we are located at the Racket Center,
which is in the parking lot of the golf course. On Google Maps, it's a vacant lot on 9th. So
we are this hidden gem in Prince Rupert, big parking lot, and this beautiful Racket Center here, where we have 2 squash courts, and we're
our social media. So Facebook, Instagram. We're working on a website right now. And then we use an app called GlowFox. So GlowFox without a W, so GLOFOX, which has our full schedule. It has some of our apparel.
A store on there. You can buy your memberships.
Yeah.
There's a community page for members on there, so we can post information if people would like a little bit more information on nutrition or different workouts. That platform as well for the community tab is where we would take our online platform, where then you would have free access as a member in that platform to see then online videos, if it's either Q&As or different video conferences with different specialized individuals, or if it's actual workout classes. So we can offer a variety on that platform that's right from access from our app.
And you also have a range of accessories and apparel.
Yes.
We kind of started that before we even opened. We just wanted something for ourselves, and then other people liked it and we started selling it.
Yeah, and it was fun during COVID when we were really excited to get opened and then found out we had to close again. So we thought, let's have fun right now. And we tapped in and we reached out to local business, Haley Apparel, which helped us get started. And then since then, it's been really successful. So we've actually just reached out to a terrace company, a local designer and seamstress that is going to be making clothing and will be selling. We've also reached out to another individual that just launched her own athletics apparel line through Prince George. And we will be in the works with her with coming up with some custom apparel, trying to help support her and also have fun. Who doesn't love fitness apparel? I find it really brightens the mood, just that little extra.
We got hats,
I love that everyone that you are collaborating with is mostly female in business.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I mean,
it really is.
We absolutely have male instructors, and we would love to collaborate as well with more men for sure. But there is something to be said that when you find another female that shares the same passion and can really
that's cool.
and really share the same goals and values of and that it just feels so right to just be speaking and forming this relationship you just want to take to the next level. So it's really exciting.
I love it. You know that it is this month we are featuring and we're putting more focus on females in leadership and it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
So I think that your message is very much aligned with that. And I'd like to congratulate you on all of that. That's
Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal. One last thing before we end. What are some tips that you would give aspiring entrepreneurs in starting their own business?
Some tips.
Being prepared. I think we were talking about this earlier because we knew it's something that we've thought about, is being prepared not only financially, because when you first start out as a small business, you're likely not to make any money in the first year, 2 years. Having seen that from a financial aspect, but also being prepared to put your time and energy into the business. So it's important to not downplay how much that takes out of you.
And especially having kids in the family, that was a really important one, was having really big conversations with my family and my children to include them in that, and letting them know that their voice is being heard, that at this point in time that I'm going to be committing myself to this passion and this business and starting something new, and that I really want them to be a part of it, but to understand the time that'll take and that will shift. And so it was just having that conversation and keeping that mindful and seeing my family shift when they knew how important it was for me, and they saw the changes that were happening in me, that they were more than willing to jump on board. And you'll find them here a lot of the time. Sometimes my daughter will be hanging out doing cartwheels in the hallway, and or my husband will be in the gym as well, and he's in the midst of just finishing up his certification now. So just that mindfulness of just the amount of time, it doesn't feel like it when it's your passion, for sure. No. But
and then being okay with being okay with being uncomfortable to put yourself out there. Like, not everybody is a people like out there extrovert kind of thing, and I think we're both kind of extroverted people, but introverted at the same time. It's kind of hard.
Well, it's unknown territory,
right?
It's unknown territory sometimes, and
being okay with being uncomfortable in that, to get comfortable in it,
and that's where growth comes from. So just being open. I find that also being open and fluid. We've changed so many things since we opened and what we thought the plan was, but we didn't.
Because we ask other people what they're like. We ask members, what do they want to see? Like,
Yeah,
what are things that we can do
different
that make
things.
this a good experience for them?
Yeah, or different things that happen, like the economy changes, on a global scale or on a local scale. Different needs or trends happen, and so it's like, how can we change our strategy to stay true to ourselves and our business and what we are here for? But then, how do we also hear what the members need or what is happening in the economy, and how do we just like merge that together?
So I guess
that we're
the tip,
sustainable.
is to really
fluid.
listen to others and
Yeah.
really find out, getting other people's feedback
Yeah.
and finding that thing that sparks
and
the joy.
opening up to collaborations. We've collaborated
Yeah,
with
yeah,
genetics and Mission.
This is
Home.
a whole lot of
Yeah.
extra tips.
And there's like a
There's
lot of
from-
tons of tips.
There's
I mean,
from
lots of things, I think.
mindfulness
Yeah,
and family time and preparation.
Work-life balance. All
Yeah.
things.
I think there's just a little bit it's a lot because we're so new that we're really cognizant of like the things that we're kind of taking note with that has happened. But yeah, I absolutely love collaborating. I know we have competition in the fitness industry, but we don't look at it like that. We appreciate everybody that's in the industry and what they offer, and we want to support each business how we can, and just kind of form this really
Nice community
that we
where
already
can all-
are. Yeah, but even deeper, make
Yeah.
it deeper.
Let's get deep.
Oh my
Let's get
goodness.
deep.
I love it. You guys were such a blast. Thank you so much for being on Let's Get Down to Business.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, my name is Daphne Thompson, and this is Let's Get Down to Business. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Let's Get Down to Business with the Prince Rupert and District Chamber of Commerce. If you would like to be featured as a guest on a future episode, please email us at rupertchamber@gmail.com or direct message us on Facebook or Instagram at Prince Rupert Chamber.